Hello and good morning, everybody. This is the November monthly live chat with you, in which I am telling you about stuff that's been going on in my life, and then what are my plans, and I'm also answering a few questions that were sent to me through messaging on my Facebook page. So let's see where I am in terms of my health, because that influences a lot how my posting tutorials part goes. And what I can tell you is, hi Elaine, is that my shoulder is finally getting better. I went and I got a steroid shot in the shoulder joint, and then I started physical therapy, and I can move it much more than before. I mean, I can lift it like this. Like 2 weeks ago was only like this. But I hope it's going to get better and better and better. I just have to do my, hi Donna, I just have to make sure that I do my physical therapy exercises. On the other hand, I had also a bone scan because my breast cancer oncologist wanted to make sure that there is no bone metastasis in that area, and the bone scan came fine. It said no evidence of osteoblastic metastasis. Hi, Fran. It only showed that, unfortunately, my cervical osteoarthritis is getting worse, but that is to be expected. I got a few questions about what do I take for that. Well, I take several things. I get most of these I get them from Puritan's Pride, and I get it from Puritan's Pride website, not from Amazon, because some of the deals they have on the Puritan's Pride website are better than the deals you can get on Amazon. And what I'm getting essentially is a combination. It's a special formula they have with glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, collagen, and hyaluronic acid. That's supposed to be better for your joints. And then another thing, excuse me, that I am taking, it's only from Amazon, and it's an avocado and soy. It's called unsaponifiables. That means fats that cannot be made into soap in layman's terms. So there are certain fats that have a specific type of formula. And some studies, because I am subscribed to several medical journals, and some studies have just come out that show that those specific types of fats actually help improving joint health and also help improving joint pain. So if you want, I can give you a link on that specific thing. Hold on, my Firefox is restarting because it just got updated. You know how it is with the updates on your computer. Whenever you try to do something, it's like, oh wait, we are updating. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, come on, Firefox, update already. There we go. It's starting. Okay. Give me just a second and I'll give you the link to that specific supplement if you want to try it. And I can tell you I've been taking it for about 10 days, and I can already feel a little bit of, I think they might have contributed to my shoulder feeling better, actually. But I already feel some better. Just a second. My joints feeling a little bit better. Okay, let me see if it's going to let me post a long link, because sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it did. So that is what I've been starting to take lately. Also, I saw yesterday my eye surgeon, and remember, I was all devastated because I saw my regular eye doctor, who's supposed to be some big poopa, but apparently he started losing it. And he diagnosed me with Fuchs dystrophia. And Fuchs dystrophia is a condition. Some people, when they start getting older, they start losing cells from the third layer of their, because cornea is in 3 layers, and the third layer, the one that's more inside the eye, starts degrading, and it gets to the point that the cornea cannot lose the water, so you start getting all kinds of symptoms, and slowly you lose your eyesight, and you have to go for cornea replacement surgery. And I was like, that's not possible. And I went and I checked, because the symptoms that I have are kind of the opposite of the symptoms that you have when you have Fuchs dystrophy, because like you cannot see well in the morning when you wake up, because with your eyes closed, the extra liquid in your cornea doesn't evaporate, so I see the best in the morning when I wake up. And my eye surgeon yesterday checked me again, and she was like, no, you don't have that. Everybody has a few cells missing as they get older, but yours show exactly the expecting number of lost cells that normally appear whenever you have cataract surgery, because every time we go in the eye, it's impossible not to, mess up a little bit. But she said, on the contrary, you have dry eye. So that's exactly the opposite. So she gave me, my vision was 20/20 with artificial tears. But she gave me some prescription eye drops, and she's going to see me again end of February, because she said that it takes anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks before starting to see any improvement on the dry eye. And but I don't need eyeglasses for distance. Of course, I still need my the eyeglasses for close-up, because that's what I chose before cataracts. I wanted to be able to see what time it is in the morning without having to grab the alarm clock and bring it here. All my life, that's what happened, because I told you I was almost blind. I couldn't see well starting from here, but I could see very well close-up. Now I can see very well, but I just need readers for closer. So I'm quite happy. Don't get me wrong. I am really, really happy. And then she said, because I still have a few floaters from a post-vitreous detachment I had like 4 or 5 years ago, and she said that she's going to get me in to burn those up with the laser. So yeah, I am really happy. So overall, it seems that everything's going, this time it's going like this. I just need a little bit more time to recover. As you have noticed, I did post some tutorials on YouTube, because there was some stuff that I had already taped, but it was very hard to even sit on a chair with this stupid shoulder. I had to lay down on the couch with the arm propped in a certain position so it wouldn't hurt. So I was at least able to sit on a chair and edit. So I'm finally able to start working on tutorials, finally. The thing is that excuse me, I choked on my own saliva. This past week and the week before, I had 3 doctor's appointments each week. And you know that after each appointment, I'm kind of wiped out for the rest of the day. But, now I will only have 2 appointments a week for my physical therapy. So I should be able to have a better time. And if that physical therapy, she's like, oh, we're gonna have like 16 sessions. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, dream on. If you think you're gonna waste my time for so long for something that I can do home, you're completely wrong. But yeah, I tend to be a rebel. So yeah, my hair is not pink, because a lot of people have commented on my pink hair. No, my hair is lavender. It's just the camera switching it a little bit, because It's a L'Oreal temporary color. A couple months ago when I was to the local Winco, they were on sale for $1 a piece. So they're like little sprays. So I got the whole range of colors. It's lavender, violet, aqua, turquoise, pink. No, that's it, because they are 6. So yeah. But I didn't use the pink yet. I do not want to rival Susan, because her pink hair is awesome. So I'm gonna do other colors. I've always been a colored hair lady. Hi, Lori. I've had, oh my god, I think I showed you before. I had in all my life, I had my hair done in all colors possible except white. I still remember when I was in college and I had my hair and it was all big and curly and stuff. And it was, I still remember the color was called red mahogany. And in regular light and shade, outdoors in the shade, it looked like a slightly reddish, how you call it? In French it's châtain. Horse chestnut. But when I would get in the sun, it would catch on fire. It was kind of like a fuchsia red, and I still remember I caused fender benders on the one of the main boulevards in Bucharest, because I was in the shade, and when I wanted to cross, and I pressed the button, and I took a couple steps and I got in the light, and then there was boom boom boom. I'm not very proud about that, but I guess my hair was making an impression. But anyway, so as I said, I had my hair in all colors, and even if I'm almost 60, I still love to have my hair in all colors. Right before I had it, hi Hermie, right before I had it cut, because I cut my hair short before I started the channel, before it was fairly long, before I lost it before the chemo, it was like below my hips. Anyway, before I cut it short, I had it done in opal, so it was bleached and then with all kinds of streaks of faint pink and lavender and blue and green, and it looked really nice. Actually, let me try and show you. If you haven't seen these photos before, give me just a second and I'll be able to show you. But it was really fun. I don't know, probably because I'm an artist, I like expression through hair color. It's not that I am missing other ways of being noticed. I just like colorful hair, to each their own. And I like colorful fingernails. Okay. There you go. I'm going to turn this on a display. There you go. This is how it was. You can see it was all opal. Actually in 2000, you can see it was March 3rd, 2 months before I started the channel. And actually at that time it was a big wave of fashion with the opal hair. So anyway, so this is what's going on. I've been starting to catch up. I was able to take photos, a whole bunch of photos, and actually I was thinking that I might do a couple short lives to show how to use the folding photo booth. And another thing that I have is like a little tripod that you can put on a table and then put a background so you can take photos. And I was thinking of making a couple short videos on how to do that. I started catching up with the house, and that's another good thing. I still need some help in some areas, and today my best friend, every Saturday, comes to pick me up at 11:30 so we can go out. Yeah, Joe, you can always try a temporary color, and see which of them you like because they wash off fairly soon. And just go ahead. The only thing that I learned is that once you're getting older, there are some colors you should avoid, and those would be very strong colors, like a strong black, very strong brown, very strong red. And why is that? Because those will practically bring in evidence every single little flaw on your face. The best is to use subdued colors, and even if it doesn't sound very productive, because it sounds, well, I try to look a little bit younger and better. Why would I use ashy colors? Well, because ashy colors actually, being subdued, hi Barbara, being subdued, bring the color of your face into attention. Because what happens when people get older, and this is also again from an artist's point of view, because I painted so many portraits in my life, and it was part of my, when you get older, your skin tone darkens. You'll see that if you compared your photos from your older compared to when you were younger, of course, not when you were tanned, you will notice that your skin tone is not just a little bit darker, but more ashen. And also, your lips start losing color. This is why after a certain age, it is not advisable to use lipstick that's very light in color, because it will enhance your aged appearance. So if you wear more ashy colors, that's going to make your face look more healthy color. Does that make sense? So, and the other thing is, if you have a lot of gray hair, it's a good idea to avoid dark colors, because when your hair starts growing, you look like one of those ladies, very elderly ladies, who lost a lot of hair and you can see their scalp. And it's just, remember what I was telling you about the eye has to only see a few elements to reconstruct the image. And when you see somebody from behind or even from the front and you see light color at the root of the hair, it immediately brings into mind someone who has had a lot of hair loss, and you can see their scalp. So generally speaking, yeah, it's a good idea to go with the more subdued color. And of course, you know, as we get older, it doesn't mean that we have to be subdued ourselves. So go ahead and express yourself with colorful colors. You know, that little old lady with blue hair, those are the little old ladies who enjoy their old lady um, part of their lives. Yeah, so going back on the polymer clay part. As you know, I had some of the cosplay, one of the first batches they had, and I've been working on it. And I'm going to be very honest with you, it is a pretty good clay, and I showed some stuff in a former live. It is a pretty good clay, but I have several things to say about it. I do hope that they take into consideration certain things. And I mean, it's one thing that they tell to potential customers, but it's another thing that the market says. Number one, the cosplay's main strong point is the flexibility. And when we are talking about flexibility, you don't need that much flexibility when you're sculpting. Hi Victoria, hi Patricia. But unless you talk about certain fragments of a sculpture, like fragments that like tentacles or wings or fins or stuff like that. Because if you think all the major clay brands, they have a separate line for sculpting one of a kind sculptures. Hi, Tina. Because it has to have that very slight translucency that the flesh has. And it has to be able to take detail very well. I have to admit, I did not try in the latest couple years the Cernit for dolls, but I know that years ago, years and years ago, when I tried it, I wasn't happy with it because even if it had a beautiful finish and it looked perfectly like flesh and everything, it was too soft and wasn't holding detail very good. And again, the thing with holding detail, it depends on what type of one-of-a-kind sculptures you do. Because if you're used to making one kind of one-of-a-kind sculptures that are like a foot or a foot and a half tall, we are talking about a different detail than if you make 2-inch baby fairies. You know, the detail on those is very, very minutious. So you need a clay that's got enough hardiness to hold the detail. Because if the clay is too elastic and soft, you press on it and then it looks like it has the detail fine. You go on working on some other part and then you come back and you see that the clay has sprung back a little bit. So you spend a lot of time going over and over and over and over the same detail. But on the other hand, I think that, and the thing is that the market for jewelry and decorative objects and cosplay is way bigger than the market for sculptors, you know. And in this respect, I think that cosplay has a huge future, because to this day, the only clay that we have that you can actually make a bracelet that you can wrap around your hand would be Fimo leather. But there are a lot of things that you cannot do with Fimo leather because it is made to look like leather, so you won't be able to make it look like anything else. But with cosplay, you can. And my biggest issue with cosplay is that they don't have translucent. And when you're working for any of these things, you need translucent because even if they wouldn't come up with mica clays, you can always make your own mica as long as you have translucent. So we'll see what they are going to do. I was going to order because they started and let me actually give you the link. They started the Kickstarter, and I'm super happy that they went above and beyond what they needed. Give me just a second to give you the link. But let me see if they have the link. No, it's not here. Where's the link? This is ridiculous. They don't have the link posted straight. Okay. Okay, they don't have the link directly to the Kickstarter. Let me check in my email, because I know they sent it to me. But it's amazing that they don't have the link to the Kickstarter on their Facebook page. Okay. I have it here. All right, I got it. If it allows me. No, because it's longer than... Hold on, I need to do the bit.ly shortening of the clay. Hold on. There we go. There. So if you want to order it, hold on, my video froze. So if you want to order it, that's where you go. And as you can see, they got a pretty good coverage of what they needed. Now, going forward on the tutorials that will follow. I'm going to do every Saturday tutorials for winter because it's already late enough to start working on winter stuff. And I'm fully planning, I didn't create it yet, but the event for tomorrow, we are going to start on ornaments. The other things that I have started already before my shoulder got really messed up, and give me just a second. Okay, because many of you asked me to do fairy houses. And I started working on two of them. One of them is without using a texture. This is a little tree stump. And I'll show you how to make this wood texture, wood bark texture without having a texture thing. And then the other thing is I found on Amazon a beautiful wood bark texture, and it should be in my textures things, but you can see it's absolutely fabulous, and it gives great texturing. It's actually one of those sugar craft things, but because we are talking about texture, you don't really care. And another thing that I want to make and show you how to make will be little Christmas ornaments. Hi Chris. Little Christmas ornaments in like fairy houses and snow houses and stuff like that. And for that, I'm going to use Sculpey Ultralight because we don't want them to be too heavy. And I'll show you how to use the Sculpey Ultralight to do these houses. And if you go and if you look on my Amazon store, let me go there and tell you exactly where to look. Because if I'm not mistaken, I put them in the baking blanks. There is a set of 3 rectangular cutters. They are actually for baking. Yeah, the bark texture is in the textures, sheets, pins, and so on. And if you go to the baking blanks, on the first place, it costs $13 for the set, and there are 3 rectangular sets that are quite tall. They are about this tall, and they are beautiful to make boxes. And the smallest one I'm going to use for snow houses for the Christmas tree. Then my intention is also to make at least one more plaid Christmas plaid cane, and hopefully another poinsettia and another holly. But I have on the back burner for my sponsors several cane tutorials, and I wasn't able to do them properly because of my shoulder reducing You know, being in this position and reducing canes, it's after a few minutes becomes very, very painful for me. So I hope that once my shoulder starts feeling better, I'll be able to go with that. As I said during the Halloween special, I had so much stuff ordered and prepared for Halloween, but then I got hit with the shoulder thing, so I wasn't able to do as much stuff as I wanted. Um, I don't know. I'm going to prepare them for next Halloween, I guess, because it's not a lot of stuff. But I can also use some of them. I can use them to make Gothic projects, and I know that Gothic is still in fashion. So even if you're not wearing them, you have children or grandchildren that might be wearing them. Um, and one thing that I have noticed is that when it comes to the projects, the less interest is for sets. So I'm going to kind of make less sets. Most interest is for pendants. Then on the second place is for necklaces. On the third place is for earring. And on the fourth place it is for bracelets. So I've been looking, I actually ran several software programs on the SEO, you know, and keywords on what people are searching for the most, and so on and so forth. So I will be making pieces in the near future in this order. If you think, and but for the Christmas, I'm going to make quite a bit of decorative objects. This is what I have in plan, and hopefully it will work, because I want to make also a centerpiece of sorts for Christmas, and of course a lot of decorations. And as I said, I do have a big surprise for you, and I will start working on it this coming week, because it's something, because I want you to have time to order what you need. And it's something that comes from one of the European traditions that stem the decorative trend. It's not so much, and as I said, I asked Chris to look for it for me because I couldn't find one, because it originates in Tyrol, and it was mostly in Switzerland and Austria, and I've been trying to find one to buy. And as I said, German is not one of the languages I speak much. I can barely go through a recipe on a box. And Chris looked for it and couldn't find it, and I actually found only one website. So I was like, why don't I go ahead and make some, because they make wonderful little Christmas gifts for your friends. And they do, yeah, I want to do candle rings and maybe even glass rings, maybe napkin rings, but they come down to only a few dollars for one, and they are absolutely fabulous, and they last for the rest of the year. I mean, it's not something that's used only for Christmas. It's something that you can put in the house and use for the rest of the, it's useful. That's the deal. It's useful, and it will, in the long range, it saves money. But yeah, that will be my big surprise for you. And then I have a whole bunch of other things that I had purchased and I wanted to make, and hopefully, I'm not going to say what, because you know why, but hopefully I'll get around to do it. Now, when it comes to tutorials, I was asked, this is how is the breakdown of what I'm asked to do the most. Canes, to show certain like surface effects, like crackling and applying paints and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, if you don't know yet, I did open a private group on Facebook in which I give more explanations, and I also make public once a month one of the private sponsored tutorials, live, old live tutorials, not the ones that are in the store. And this is the link if you want to join, but be careful because you need to answer the questions, and I have that there for a reason. I had in the last few days, I had quite a few number of profiles who asked to join, and one of the questions is how long have you been following these Kalyana's social networks? And I had a few of these profiles that are new, have no information, and they answered like 4 years or 5 years. I opened this channel on May 2017, so it's barely 2.5 years. So yeah, I'm gonna let those profiles go in. You can imagine. But anyway, yeah, if you don't answer the questions, you will not be allowed to get in. Because you have to understand something. I created this group to help my followers. I am not the kind of person who makes collections of friends just to, oh my God, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I don't care. You know, if you want to follow me, feel free. But I don't like collecting friends. And I don't like collecting group members just to have a big group. No, my group is made to help you. If you have... Oh my God, Judy, again a fire in your building. I'm sorry. I hope everything is okay. But yeah, as I was saying, I made this group to help the people who follow me with more information. And it's not just, I established some units where I give all kinds of information depending on, you know, if it's clay conditioning, if it's crackle, if it's resins, if it's varnishes. They are not completed. As I have time, I complete them. And also I established a type of mentorship because I'm not the alpha and omega. There are people in the group who know a lot of stuff and they are able to mentor other people. We have beaders, we have wire workers, we have painters. So, and the mentorship takes part outside the group. It's like just in the private messaging. Yes, you can. You can send me the photo on the Kalyana Facebook page, and remember that whenever you send me a photo of something that you have done following my tutorials, that's fine, Joe. I know you. I mean, I'm talking about people that I haven't heard of before. But yeah, if you send me photos, I will feature them on the Kalyana Facebook page. That is not a problem. So, other stuff. I will be showing a lot more things to make with Cernit. Of course, I will be giving the whatchamacallit, the recipes for Premo, as it's more commonly used, or even Pardo and stuff. But as I said before, and when I said in the which clay do I pick tutorial, there is no clay that's good for everything. Some clays are better for gemstones. Some clays are better for metal. Some clays are better for I don't know, you name it, canes. But yes, Karen, but you guys, I know I'm talking about new people. But the thing is that Premo, it is true. Premo, I consider Premo the workhorse. You know, it's like you can try pretty much everything. It's not the best in anything, but you can do a lot of stuff with it. And generally speaking, whenever I'm experimenting on things, I always experiment with Premo first because it's the most readily available and it's the cheapest. But when I go for the final products, I would go for the final products in Cernit or in Pardo or in Fimo because they are better quality. That is not to say that Premo is a bad clay. It is a good clay. It is a good clay. It's not an excellent clay. if that makes sense. The same as I said in the last tutorial I uploaded with that Constantino inspired pendant. I recommend you make it in Pardo. Why? Because Pardo jewelry clay was created specifically for making jewelry, and it's because of the texture and the firmness it has, and because it's based on wax, it holds detail beautifully. It's the one you'll get faux metal effect the best out of everything, as long as you're not talking about, like ancient replicas, because with that you can use Premo. But in the same that for making flowers and gemstones, your best bet will be Cernit and Pardo, not so much Premo. And talking of which, I will start working on the Cernit version of the Fall Peter site, because I did a few experiments and it looks much better than in Premo. I wasn't able to do the Pardo because the Pardo is a little bit firmer. So the technique used to create the Fall Peter site, you cannot do it in Pardo properly. So yes, there will be some more faux gemstones, and I'm not going to try and make a timeline or anything because it all depends on my health, unfortunately. So hopefully, let's all hope that nothing else happens and my shoulder gets better, and I'll be able to show you, because as I said, I want to make quite a few number of canes this Saturday. This Sunday, tomorrow, most likely I will do some ornament. And if you don't find the ornaments at your local craft store, because you can find blank ornaments at your local craft store, I have them in the Amazon influencer store in the coverables section. I'm not going to lie to you. They are cheaper if you buy them in the store. I actually went and bought some from Hobby Lobby after the holidays because they were way cheaper. They had a sale on that. Hold on, let me give you the link to the coverables. Come on. Okay. And if you scroll down, you will see some and my video froze again. What the heck? If you scroll down, you will find the blank glass ornaments. And what I want to cover the most tomorrow is how to do the base. Okay, because if you remember, and I started on the Kalyana Facebook page, I started posting daily. And if you are a follower, if you liked that, you will be able to see them, because I scheduled that links to the Christmas related tutorials I did to present. Hello, Catherine. Thank you. So I have every day you will have one of my old Christmas winter holidays tutorial. Again, hi Debbie. The most important thing that I need to announce to you is that the Imagine artist contest has started. So remember that it is for emerging artists. In order to be able to participate, you need to have less than 500 followers together on all your social networks. Um, the registration started yesterday. The pre-registration started yesterday, and everybody who's registered received a special coupon for PolyClay from PolyClay Play, and the awesome part is that this year we'll have a special prize. Actually, give me just a second. Let me go to it. Let me find the it's not here, it's in tutorials. Just a second, it takes me sometimes a little bit. Okay, so to give you a little summary of this. Okay, so for the winter edition of this year, it starts, pre-registration started yesterday. The entries have to be done from the 1st of December until the 31st of December. But your entry has to show all the steps, because last year we had only one winner, and that was a one winner by default because everybody else who submitted an entry did not submit it right. They showed either only the final product or the materials and the final product. No, you need to show each step. It's like making a short tutorial. If you don't know how to make videos, it's fine. Make a Facebook album, set it on public, and take photos of each step. And the theme for the winter edition is winter holidays, and it has to be only a decorative object. It doesn't matter what kind of decorative object it is, but it cannot be jewelry. It can be Christmas decorations, boxes, sculptures, whatever. And then also it has to contain mixed media, and that means that you have to use other media as well, not just polymer clay, like powders, paints, waxes, pigments, whatever you want to think of. But in order to qualify, you have to have these 3 points. So all the steps has to be a decorative object, and you have to use mixed media. And for the prize, the prize for US based artists is a $100 gift certificate for PolyClay Play, and a $50 voucher for Kalyana design, redeemable only on the paid tutorials. For the non-US based artists, hold on, I'm not looking in the right spot here, give me just a second. Come on, Facebook. I was looking at the one before the all right. So for the non-US based artist, it's $100 worth Amazon gift certificate for the Amazon of your country or region. And then no matter where you are, you will get an extensive consultation with me on how to grow your online presence as an artist creator without spending money. You know, I will teach you how to do all this, and we will do a live video chat. Up to you if you want to do it on Facebook or on Skype. The second prize is to choose between a $25 worth, either gift certificate for PolyClay Play or voucher for my paid tutorials, and the third prize is a $15 gift certificate, again, to choose between PolyClay Play and me. And this year it's a special prize, a never need machine, and unfortunately it is only for US participants, because the way that the prices of shipping had raised, we cannot afford to ship overseas. And please note when you register, if you are disabled, what is your disability? We are not going to go into details. We just, you know, just for our to make the little drawing. If it's only one disabled artist, then it will go to them by default. If there are more, we are going to have a public drawing. So, but you have to have a valid entry in the Imagine contest to qualify for this prize. That means that your entry has to be thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Ermi. Um, that means that you have to have an entry that qualifies for the contest, that shows all the steps and with everything else. So yeah, and don't forget that my channel, because I don't do ads, remember, I do not monetize my channel. So because of that, other channels who get monetized will be pushed forward in the recommended videos, and mine will not come so soon, so early in searches, because I'm not monetizing. So the only way that my channel can grow, if you like and if you subscribe and if you share. Okay, so yeah, but no, with the gift certificates do, you can cover the price of the shipping, you know, because it's paid for. But yeah, if you didn't know, yes, I do not monetize my channel. That is why you don't see any kind of ads on my videos ever. And I have promised that when I started, I might, you know, start that once I won't be able to do anything anymore because of my hands and my cervical spine going all degenerative. I might start monetizing, but as for now, no, I'm not monetizing my channel. So that's the only way that my channel can grow. If you like it, because the more likes and the more comments, the more the YouTube algorithm will start pushing it up, because of course they prefer the channels that monetize, because the channels that monetize make money for YouTube. I don't make money for YouTube. So yeah, and I'm getting close to an hour, and as I said, I need to start getting ready for my weekly shopping spree, because being the way I am, I cannot really drive myself almost anywhere. So I need help for my friends, and my best friend is so sweet and kind, and she drives me around every Saturday. So I shall see you all tomorrow, and we'll go through the basics of covering a blank Christmas tree ornament, and generally other things. But look out, because, and another thing that you might want to buy, let me see if I have one here. I might not have all of them in the kitchen. It's not here. Okay, you find these in the miscellanea. They are called rice lights. I don't know how well you can see them, because they are all coiled and stuff. And let me post the link to the miscellanea thing where they are. Okay, where are you? I have so much stuff in the store. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to post the direct link to the miscellaneous stuff. Even if you go straight to the Amazon store, you can find it. And what they are tiny, tiny, tiny. They are called rice slides. And they have minuscule. I'm going to open one and bring it a little bit closer to the. Oops. Of course I dropped something. And they come with this, each of them comes with a tiny, tiny screwdriver. Let me get the link first. And my nose is running again. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Okay. Okay, so they have a little battery in them. And they are, let me see if you can see them. And they are really, really, really tiny. The lights are even smaller than a grain of rice, and grain of rice, than a grain of rice. So they can be put in various decorations, and they look beautiful, especially if you use translucent. And the other thing that I will be making, again, if you look in my store, and I'm not going to go to the again in the shortening, just look in my storefront. And remember that I also have a UK store. I didn't have the time yet to make the other ones, but look in the musical boxes, and that's all I'm going to tell you, because I intend to make some boxes for jewelry and for presents that will also have a musical box in them. So let's hope that my health holds, my shoulder gets better, and I can go ahead and do everything that I had in plan for. So thank you for coming, and I shall see you tomorrow. Remember, it's 12:30 Central Time, and we are going to start working on Christmas stuff and winter holiday stuff. Okay, don't forget to like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and don't forget to share the channel. Thank you so much, and see you all.